Why does everything have to drop when I'm trying to go to bed, damn it?
I know you're somewhere,
How's it going, everybody? It's Aurora YGO here, coming at you finally with another proper video that isn't just a fucking shitty deck profile. I know it's been so long, but there's literally been nothing for me to cover. I haven't been able to record games at locals lately because of the new table arrangements there and everything, and I've just had nothing. I've had no drive to make content. But finally, we have something to cover. It's great. I can finally continue my series of reviewing new stuff, because now we are greeted with the Exorcisters, which I have no clue what they do. I know they have exorcise monsters, and that's it. So, everyone's saying, or at least MCole40 or whatever is saying that it's the new Sky Striker and everything, which, I mean, I'll be the judge of that, but they look kind of like Attack on Titan meets Witchcrafters meets fucking Satellar Knights from this and the exorcise fact, so that's really funny. And obviously, this is the waifu deck of the set. I don't think there's any other waifu decks in the Grand Creators. This is Grand Creators, by the way. I probably should have mentioned that. But yeah, I really want to get into these. They look like they're all lights, level 4s. Obviously, a great combination. Rank 4 is like the best rank in the game. So, but finally, it's something on YGO Organization, by the way. I don't have to go to fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, whatever, or something, but Exorcisters. V-Jump brings forth Sisters Superior. So maybe they're like priestesses and stuff. So, I mean, fucking Exorcister. I'm dumb, but whatever. But let's see. We start off with Exorsister Elise, level 4 light spellcaster effect monster, 500 attack, 800 defense. You can only use each effect once per turn. If you control an Exorcister monster, you can special this card from your hand. And then if you control Exorcister Stella, gain 800 life points. It seems a bit specific for the life point game, but I mean, it's a free body in a rank 4 deck. That's pretty good. And if a card leaves any graveyard by an opponent's card, you can special an Exorcister exorcise from your extra deck by using this card as material, and it's treated as an exorcise summon. That's really interesting, actually. Is this a gimmick they have? Okay, looks like that's their main gimmick. Alright. They're not just a random rank 4 spam deck. That's really weird, but it feels like it can be very funny, because, like, you gotta think of, it says any card, right? So imagine, you go first, right? And you set up a board or whatever, and you have one of the girls out, and then, they called by your Ash. That's a card leaving the graveyard by a card effect, and so you get a free body from the extra deck. That's really cool, actually. And, like, obviously, there's more than just called by, but that's a very popular scenario, so okay. Alright, I'm gonna have to see what these exorcise monsters do to see if that's worth it. Let's go on. So here's Exorcister Stella, the one that Elise mentioned. She's also a level 4 light spellcaster. They're all light level 4 spellcasters, it looks like, so I'm not going to mention that. She has 300 attack and 800 defense. You can only use each effect once per turn. During your main phase, you can special an Exorcister from your hand. Then if you control Elise, you gain 800. Okay, so basically you want to normal her, special Elise, gain 800, and then you want to use her to special something else and then gain another 800, I guess. And then she has the effect if something leaves the grave by an opponent's card. You can special a thing from your extra by using her as material. So, okay. Again, more swarming. It's a rank 4 deck. Like, again, I really can't complain about this. There's nothing really wrong with this, actually. What's with Konami actually making good archetypes lately? Fucking Shang Jin, which I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right this time. Been roasted like 8 different times. We got Flunderies coming out. We got these coming out. Like, most of the archetypes have been revealing lately are really good, or at least decent, so that's really fun. So yeah, more swarming, and again, like, mediocre life point game. I don't know, it might help in time, I guess, but let's go on to the next one. We have Exorsister Elaine. She has 400 attack and 800 defense. You can only use each effect once per turn, and she obviously has the other effect, but you can return an Exorcister card in your hand to the bottom of the deck to draw a card, and then if you control Sophia, gain 800 life points. So I'm assuming Sophia is going to say if you control Elaine, you get life points as well. So, I mean, it's pretty decent recycling. It's probably a good target off of Stella, especially if you open multiple copies of, like, Elise or something. So yeah, like normal Stella, special Elise, gain 800, Her special, Elaine, gain 800, and then Elaine can, like, return some stuff, and then you get a free draw. That's not too bad. It's not Destiny Draw or anything, but it can refresh dead hands. Next is Exorsister Sophia, 100 attack and 800 defense. These guys all have really low stats, by the way. Okay, yeah, I was about to say, hopefully the Exceed monsters, they're, like, better in that department, it looks like it. If you control another Exorcister, you can draw a card, and then if you control Elaine, gain 800. Okay, so that's just better. Alright. So basically, she's just a better Elaine. I don't know why you would play Elaine over her at more copies. Like, she can refresh a hand, don't get me wrong, but she just draws for free. You don't have to put anything back. What's the point of this again? That's really weird. This is literally just power creep compared to Sophia. I'm so confused, but whatever. Those are the 4 main deck monsters. The first 2 were very good. The last 2 were kind of I guess. I mean, obviously, like I said, Sophia's just better than Elaine, but that's weird. Let's go ahead and get into the Exceed monsters. They have 4 Exceed monsters. That's kind of crazy. Let's get into this. So this is the one that's on the cover. This is Exorcister Michaelis. I have no idea. I don't know how to pronounce that shit. I'm gonna assume it's Michaelis. It's a rank 4 light warrior. Okay, so I'm assuming they're warriors. Maybe there's some that are spellcasters. Warrior. Yeah, they're all warriors instead of spellcasters. Okay. 2,500 attack and 1,800 defense. Very beefy. Requires 2 level 4s, and you can only use the first and third effects once per turn. If it was Exceed summoned previously this turn by using an Exorcister as material, quick effect, you can target a card your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. Not bad. Cannot be destroyed by battle with monsters that were special summoned from the graveyard. Again, that's honestly not that terrible. I wish it was also by card effect maybe, but I don't know. And then you can detach material to search for a back row. That's pretty good. It's basically a Ghost Rick Angel of Mischief. Always nice, especially because there's no other detachment effects or anything. So, yeah, just go into her, get a free search, especially if their back row is good. They probably have a Rhoda and a Monster Reborn, like always. So yeah, very nice already. Like I said, decent stats. The banish is a bit situational. If you want to get it off on your opponent's turn, obviously. If you're doing this during your turn, then obviously you're fine. So that's really nice. I wish they all said that if a card leaves a graveyard by any card, because what you could do then is, if they have like an Ash or something in their grave, you banish that, and then you can stack an Exceed on one of these girls. They're kind of just worse Zodiac now that I think about it, because you can go into the things on the opponent's turn, granted, using one material, but it's very situational. You can't just stack it whenever you want. You have to have your opponent get rid of something in the graveyard. So, not terrible, but like it's honestly a pretty good Exceed monster. And I wish the gimmick was just a little bit better, but I mean, we still haven't even gotten through the entire archetype, so I'm not going to say anything. Next, we have Exorsister Kaspatel, and that is a very pretty artwork now that I think about it. Wow. It looks like she's underwater. She is, like I said, they're all rank 4 light warrior Exceeds. So she has 2,300 attack and 800 defense. She requires level 4s. You can only use the first and third effects each once per turn. Let's see. Alright, so the second effect is the same, the protection, as Michaelis. But the first one says, if this card is Exceed summoned by using an Exorcister monster's material, not a quick effect, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, neither player can special summon monsters from any graveyard. I mean, it's an on-summon, so never mind. I guess that doesn't matter. But, this can be really good against certain strategies if you can get the effect off that, like the main deck girls have, that you summon them on your opponent's turn. Otherwise, it's not really going to do anything, so you best hope that they can remove things from the graveyard, because I feel like it'd be really cool, like maybe if they have like a field spell or something. Like if you think about Abyss actors, right, their gimmick is they want you to blow up their back row, right? And so their field spell says you can negate your first opponent's monster effect and change it to destroy one of your opponent's back row. If they have something that says like change the effect to banish a card from the graveyard or something, that would be really cool. So you can get these things off a lot more often. Otherwise, it might be a bit difficult. And then she has the same search effect, but for monsters. So again, really good searching. Like, these are both definitely going to be staples at 2 or 3. Like, it's searching, it's Ghost Rick Angel of Mischief. And then She seems to be the better one, but she can also be pretty good in certain situations for her other effects. And again, they both have the battle protection from things that were special from the graveyard, so that's fine, I guess. But let's go ahead and go on to the next one. We have Exorsister Jibrine. My god, Konami, what are you doing? 1400 attack and 2800 defense, so very thick, big booty bitch. 2 level 4 monsters. You only use first and third effects once per turn. Okay, so these two look like... okay, yeah, these two have the protection from the activated monster effects of things from the graveyard. So, okay. So the first two have battle protection, and the other two have monster effect protection. Like I said, it's kind of what I expected. And if she was Exceed summoned previously this turn by using an Exorcister, quick effect, you can imperm and affect monster your opponent controls. Like, it's a bit situational compared to Mikalis, but I'd say they're both pretty equal in terms of power, still very good. And then, okay, the detach effect is kind of bad. You can attach a material for the rest of the turn. All Exceed monsters you control gain 800 attack. I mean, it can help go for OTKs. 800's not like a bad number. It's better than 500 or whatever. But it's a bit situational. Like, I'm going to say situational a lot in this video, by the way. I probably should mention that. Like, don't get me wrong. You're going to get these girls fucking huge if you do that. But it really just depends on if you're going to be able to get, like, multiples of these out consistently, which you should be able to, considering, like, honestly, you have Stella and Elise for really easy swarming. And you can draw into more things using Sophia, and probably not Elaine. Elaine's, like, just worse Sophia. So you can probably get at least 2, maybe 3 Exceed monsters out in one turn on your turn, without using the effects of the main deck girls to special from extra. So that's pretty cool, actually. And again, they do pretty good stuff, like add a back row, especially if they do have a monster reborn, that'll be easier. Add a monster, you can add Elise, special from hand, and then you can kind of go for an OTK. If it said Exorsister, maybe it'd be better, but then again, you can play other rank 4 Xyz. They don't seem to have anything that locks you into anything, so you can probably get out some really good Xyz monsters. Baguska comes to mind. Abyss Dweller is really nice. They can't activate things in Grave, especially because this is a Grave-centered theme, it looks like. Kaspatel if you want removal. Tornado Dragon for back row. All sorts of stuff. Cowboy for game. I don't know. So that can be really good. If you actually play Utopia Lightning, I just realized that you're going to make a really thick Utopia Lightning. Holy shit. That's really funny. But let's go on to the final Xyz monster. This is Exorsister Usophiel. 2100 attack, 1800 defense. Seems pretty standard for a rank 4 for that one. 2 level 4s, first and third effects each once per turn. Second effect is the same. If this card is Exceed summoned by using an Exorcister, you can activate this effect for the rest of the turn. Neither player can activate any card effect in the graveyard. So, I'm gonna be honest, it is kind of just worse Abyss Dweller. Like, the stats are better, granted, but only slightly. I'd probably just rather go into Dweller. Like, okay, let's look at the third effect before I say anything. You can attach a material from this card, then target a monster your opponent controls and bounce it. Okay. That makes it better. Otherwise, I was going to say, why would you play this over Abyss Dweller? The removal is definitely going to be nice. You're probably not going to be playing it for this, because it is locking you from your grave as well. But you're definitely going to be playing it for the free removal. It's kind of like Kaspatel in a way, now that I think about it. And you don't have to attach both materials, which is really good. So, that's really cool. And again, it's really generic, so... you know, honestly, you could play this over Kaspatel if you're playing a rank 4 spam deck, and you can just get better removal, in theory. I mean, obviously, Kaspatel shuffling is really good, but bouncing is still really nice, even if it does target. So, okay, yeah. When we think about it now, we have back row searching and banishing. We have, what is it, Necro Valley? Necro Valley stops things from being special from grave, right? Or is it just moving from the graveyard? I'm just gonna assume Necro Valley right here, and then searching monsters, and then we have a slight attack boost for OTKs, and then an imperm, and then we have a compulse with a Abyss Dweller. So, okay, the rank 4s definitely don't disappoint. Honestly, I wish these two were just like a little bit better, but these two kind of compensate for it. Like, especially, you know, considering they search, that's going to give you access to, like, everything. Again, we still haven't even looked at the back row, so Mikalis might be really, really good if they have really good back row. Again, I'm expecting a Rhoda, a Monster Reborn, maybe a trap that makes things gain attack or pops things, I don't know. It's kind of cookie-cutter stuff at this point. Maybe something that involves Xyz monsters, too, I don't know. It's probably going to be stuff involving the graveyard, though. Again, very pretty artworks on all of them. This kind of looks like a midget Appaloosa almost with that bow. But that's it for the monsters. They have an Exceeds monster for literally every main deck monster. That's really nice, actually, seeing so much extra deck diversity. So let's go ahead and get into the back row. Why is Ties of the Brethren here? That's funny. Okay, maybe it's just confirmed for the new set. It looks like they have 2 back row and 1 trap. Let's look at the first one. Exorsister Amento. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. It's a quick play spell. And you can only activate this card during your turn unless your opponent controls a monster that was specialed from the graveyard. Okay. Pay 800 life points. Oh, that's why you gain 800 off of the other things. You know, you want to get free card effects here. Then target an Exorcister you control. Special from your extra deck, 1 Exorcister Exceeds with a different name from the monsters you control by using that monster you control's material. Okay. So that's actually a lot. That makes the deck in entirety like just better. Okay. Sorry, I didn't think about the back row actually letting you not really rank up, but kind of like rank into something else. Yeah, that fixes a lot of the problems I was talking about. Okay, because these girls have the quick effects. Like there's an imperm here on your opponent's turn now. There's a banish from the field or grave. This one prevents them from specialing from grave. This one's an abyss dweller. Okay. Yeah, I really like that actually. And like I said, it's not really a rank up, so you don't really have to rely on like trying to get up in ranks and shit. That'd be really annoying. And like they're all the same rank. And also you get to transfer the materials as well, which is really, really nice now that I think about it. Because then you can go into one of these 2 and then have those materials for free searches. That's really cool. So definitely very solid. It is kind of weird that you can only activate it on your turn unless they have something special from grave. Like, you're really gonna have to rely on your opponent specialing from grave. Like, if these 2 cards aren't like a vampire sucker, basically, and give your opponent free shit from grave so you can do your stuff, this deck might have a little bit of a hard time because, honestly, yeah, decks kind of naturally special things from grave, but, like, not as much as this deck would like to think they are. So that might be a bit annoying. But still, being able to just swap out Exceeds monsters is still really good, even if it's on your turn. Especially because you get multiple effects, like you can get a banish, then you can get an imperm, like in the same turn because of that. So that's really cool. The pay 800 is kind of weird, but I mean, it's whatever. You can regain it back, I guess, with the main deck girls. But let's go ahead and get on to the continuous spell. We have Exorsister Kaspatel. What? I am very confused, but... whatever, you can only use the 2nd and 3rd effect of this card's name each per turn. Exorcister monsters you control cannot be targeted by monster effects from monsters that were specialed from the graveyard. Okay, that's not bad, especially because they already have built-in battle and effect destruction protection. If you Exceed summon an Exorcister, you can declare 1 card name. For the rest of the turn, negate the activated effects and the effects on the field of cards with that original name. So, it's a temporary prohibition if you Exceed summon. That can be really funny in certain situations now that I think about it. Okay. So, say your opponent has, I don't know, like maybe some sort of continuous back row or something. Or maybe, oh my god, actually... Whoa, now that I think about it, if you Exceed summon and your opponent has a Dragoon and they already used the negate or whatever, they can't negate, you can just negate Dragoon. This is non-targeting effect negation, including of things in like everything else. That is really good, actually. Yeah, you can get rid of so many problems with that, and like, even if you, like, you can go into these girls, right? But then you can also go into a different one using this, and then have this as like another thing in like a different chain to kind of like confuse your opponent a little bit. And you get like constant different advantages of like what you can do, right? If you open either the continuous or the quick play, you can go into Mikalis and search the other one, and then use the quick play to change her into something else, probably Kaspatel. And then you can just get a free negation of something, like I said, like Dragoon or whatever. And you also got to, like, search the stuff. Like I said, this stuff's searchable, too. And I haven't even looked at the 3rd effect. When an attack is declared involving your Exorcister, you can blow up one of your opponent's back row. Not bad, actually. It doesn't even say your Exorcister monster has to destroy something by battle. It's just when an attack is declared. They can get a Moon Mirror Shield. Big brain. No, but seriously, that second effect is really, really nice removal. Again, it's like a better Imperm, honestly, now that I think about it. Like, it's not as fast as Imperm, granted, but keep in mind, you can also use this on your opponent's turn if you're ranking up on their turn using the main deck girls or the quick play spell, which, let's face it, the quick play spell is going to go off more often, but yeah, very solid continuous spell. Very solid indeed. The final card is Exorsister Vadis? I think it's Vadis. It's a normal trap. You can only activate one of it per turn. Pay 100 life points for the rest of this turn after this card resolves. You cannot special from the extra deck except Exorcisters, and then special 2 Exorcisters from your deck so that the first name is listed in the second's text. Okay, so if you summon Elise, summon Stella, and if you summon Elaine, summon Sophia, vice versa, whatever. But shuffle them into the deck during the end phase. Okay, that's pretty cool. Honestly, it is a trap, so it's kind of annoying, especially because you do have to pay the life points and stuff, and it does lock you. I mean, I feel like if it was a spell, though, it'd be kind of stupid good, but okay. That's definitely not bad. It can also serve as walls, OTK fodder, even though, like, obviously they're really weak. You're just going to go into the girl that makes your guys gain 800. So, definitely not bad. Requires a little bit of setup. Maybe play one if you're going to play it. I wouldn't say play multiples. But overall, pretty cool. What's that dragon, by the way? Is that dragon part of one of the other Grand Creators archetypes? Probably. I don't know. It's probably something from, like, Despia or something, and I'm just brain dead because I haven't been keeping up with that stuff, honestly. So, that is it for the Exorcister archetype. Let me go, like, a quick, like, look at him again. It's like, what's his name on Twitter? He has a Helltaker icon as his profile picture, and he literally, I only found out about this archetype because I saw his post, and he said they look a lot like Attack on Titan characters, and I kind of agree, like, in terms of the aesthetic. I kind of agree, honestly. Like, I feel like they're about to, like, fucking whip out some ODM gear and just, like, slit my neck open. I don't know, I haven't watched Attack on Titan in forever. I saw, like, bits and pieces of Season 3, forgive me. And then, like, nothing after that. But let me think about it. Like, honestly, they're a life point gain we're not really going to talk about because kind of irrelevant, but only, like, really relevant in terms of the trap card. I don't want to open that. It's really only relevant in terms of the trap card for them mentioning each other in the name. So let's ignore that, but let's see. Like, you got a free special from hand, like Speaker of the Ice Barrier and stuff. It's a rank 4 deck, obviously that's good. Special a guy from your hand, it's a rank 4 deck, that's good. Again, Elaine is just worse Sophia. Like, why would you summon Elaine and return an Exorcister and draw a card when you can summon Sophia and then just draw a card without having to return anything? Like, why would you do that? I have no idea. Obviously, you're gonna play her for the name, especially if you do play the trap, but, like, Sophia's just better. But, like, it is draw power, especially with their back row being as good as it is, and also being able to draw hand traps and stuff. That's really cool. It doesn't matter if you actually draw them or not, considering that the Xyz monsters actually have really nice searching. Again, search a back row on this one, search a monster on this one. The protection is a bit niche. Like, honestly, obviously it'd be better if it said monsters are special from the extra deck, but I mean, it's kind of like a take on that, but for the graveyard. These guys obviously hate the graveyard, I guess. I guess that's why they don't have a Monster Reborn, but yeah. So you have some pretty niche protection, but it's still pretty decent. It can come up in a lot of situations. You have Necro Valley, Abyss Dweller, Imperm, what's it called? Technically Trishula. Obviously a little bit worse, but, you know, technically Trishula. And then you have what's essentially a rank up, but for the same rank. It's just like a swap in almost, which is really, really good, considering that, like I said, like, all of them have an effect that are based on if they were summoned on that turn or not. Like I said, honestly, having this built-in Abyss Dweller is really nice, especially because, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the removal on this is really nice. The attack gain isn't relevant on this one as much as you may think, but it can come up in terms of like OTK scenarios, because you can shit out Xyz with this archetype pretty easily, it looks like. Again, because you can just swap out Xyz monsters like that at the snap of your fingers. And then really, really good like Prohibition style effect that can out things like Dragoon, Zeus, all that stuff. Obviously, that you can bait the Zeus with this. And then a little bit of protection here, again, a bit niche, but can come up. And then some back row removal, it's fine, honestly, didn't really need it. And then the trap card, yeah, it is a trap, so it's a bit slower, but what it does is actually really, really good. Because, again, like, you can summon, like, these two, maybe, and then just get free draws. Like, you can go Chainlink 1 Elaine, Chainlink 2 Sophia. Sophia, draw you an Exorsister you might already have in your hand, and then Elaine, put that one back and then draw another card. So you can kind of, like, keep your hand a bit fresh. Or you can summon Elise and Stella, and then, like, obviously, you're going to gain life points regardless off of some of them. But if you summon Stella, obviously, you can get one of these girls from your hand. Like, you can shit out Xyz monsters so easily with this deck, and that's what's really needed for decks that, like, heavily rely on their Xyz monsters. And considering how good these Xyz monsters are, like, being able to shit them out really fast is going to be really, really nice, especially with the effects that they do have. And so, now we're at the end of our almost half an hour video of my fucking final review series I've done in a while, at least. What do I rank Exorcisters as in my level 1 to 10 scale? Honestly, I'll give them a solid 7. I know I give 7 to a lot of things, but, like, the deck's really nice. Actually, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm gonna give them a 7. Maybe a 7.5. The main deck girls, like, again, they don't really do, like, I mean, obviously, we're kind of ignoring this when we really think about it, because it's not gonna come up very often, right? But if there's a format where it does, the deck could be, like, an easy 8, 8.5, maybe even 9, crazily enough. But, like, really, the only reason I'm giving them a 7 in the first place instead of, like, a 6 is their Xyz monsters are generic and very versatile. Again, this is just a free bounce, and, like, they have the protection regardless, by the way, even if they don't use an Exorcister, but you get a free bounce off this one. That one's not really too relevant, but, like, they're generic enough, you know, if you understand. And, like, you can eventually use the Exorcisters probably as an engine, maybe like a Trickstar style engine. That looks awfully like Trickstar Reincarnation, just saying. But you can definitely use them as an engine and get some, like, free removal and, like, cheese out a few of these effects. Also, this is a really good card. Like, these two are really good cards. All the back row is really good, but especially the spells. And then, like, it's a rank 4 spam deck, guys. Like, what else am I gonna give it? Like I said, they have access to Baguska, Tornado Dragon, the Utopia packages, Kaspatel, Cowboy. Like, rank 4 is the best fucking rank in the game. Honestly, considering they're all lights, they can probably have access to, like, Satellar Knight stuff. I don't know, man. My hair looks like garbage. What am I doing? I don't know, dude. But, like, I really can't complain about a spammy rank 4 archetype. Definitely not, like, Satellar Knight levels of spammy, but, like, still really good. So yeah, definitely, I'll give him a solid 7. I wouldn't say 7.5. I'll give him a solid 7. So yeah, do I think they'll see meta potential? Maybe. I don't know. Like, they're definitely not, like, Flunderies or Shang-Jin levels of good, but they're fine. I really like their artwork. I mean, they're another waifu archetype, granted, and they're obviously trying to milk kind of like an Attack on Titan Satellar Knight style, I guess. But, they're fine. They're not as bad as Punk, thankfully. But yeah, they're definitely not bad, but they're not, like, game-breaking like some people are starting to make them out to be. But that's just my opinion. Go ahead and tell me in the comments below, because that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please be sure to hit the like button. It helps put this video and the channel into the YouTube recommended. And if you like this content and you want to see more like it, like the rest of my review series, my deck profiles, all my other Yu-Gi tubing content, perhaps consider subscribing, because we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers by next year, preferably at least. I want monetization. But yeah, again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.